Hello, everyone. My name is Agata Szkółska, and I work at IKEA as a circular IKEA project leader. That means that the topic, sustainability topic, that I specifically work on is circular economy. And I thought that it may be valuable for you if I share some of my learnings and share some of my experiences connected to the topic of creation and designing circular solutions that can be loveable. But let's start from the very beginning and some basics. The thing that you see on the slide is IKEA's vision. We want to create a better everyday life for the many people. And let's say this is our lighthouse in whatever we do. But we also know that creating better life for the many people cannot be done without taking care about the environment, about the nature, and about people as such. So that's why we, for a very long time, has been working within sustainability area. And specifically, we have our sustainability strategy, which is called People and Planet Positive. And People and Planet Positive strategy has three main areas that we want to work on and that also address some global challenges like inequality, like climate change, and like unsustainable consumption. So the areas are healthy and sustainable living, circular and climate positive, and fair and inclusive. And as I said before, my topic is the circularity, so that's why I will focus today on the circular part of our strategy, or in particular what we do here in Poland to address circular agenda. We look at IKEA and at the circular capabilities of ours through three perspectives. And the first one is the products and their design. The second one is production and distribution. And the third one, these are consumers, customers, and co-workers, so people. And that's the part I want to tell you more about today. So, how to create, as I said, loveable solutions for people so they can live in a more circular ways at their homes and in their local communities. Talking to people and creating things for people or solutions for people needs specific approach, and the approach is that we need to side with the many people, we want to side with them, and we need to start the process of designing and creation with people. That was our approach, that was our idea while the process of creation and designing. And of course, if you are creating for the many people, you need to also create with the many people. So at the very beginning, we created some kind of a group, of a working group, who was supposed to create together, and that's what exactly happened. And of course, we need a specific atmosphere in our team, of the atmosphere of togetherness, of openness, and of course, creativity. So the co-creation process. The co-creation process was to produce the solutions, starting from the insights to, as I said, verified solutions. That was all the process. But we started from phrasing the challenge statement. The challenge statement, so the very important question we wanted to address, we wanted to answer while designing. And we asked ourselves how might we enable people to bring things in, to give new value to things, and get rid of things so that they can feel confident and take action. And I need to highlight one thing, the confidence. Our research that was also done in Poland, it was done in many countries, and amongst them was Poland. The research done together with Globscan about the approach towards the climate change. In this research, we found out that people living in Poland, they are a bit of demotivated. They need some encouragement, so they can take action. That's why the confidence is in this challenge statement. It is very important here in Poland to empower people to act, because yes, they want to act. They want to act positively toward the planet, and they want to minimize the climate change and their impact. But there are some barriers, like they sometimes do not have enough knowledge, they don't know what to do, or even if they do have knowledge, they are demotivated by others, and they do not believe that their individual action can change something. So we are here to work it out and work on it and help people to believe that yes, every little step counts. So yeah, the challenge statement was kind of like the vision is lighthouse for IKEA, then the challenge statement was our lighthouse during all the process. Yes, and we started from gathering insights. So, from talking to people, interviewing people, meeting them, with the approach of active listening, meaning that we do not judge. We only listen. We even act like, we were saying that we are acting like aliens, from the outer space, because we needed to ask questions that are very strange or feels basic, because we needed to dig in deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to get to know how people really feel, what they really need, what are their real challenges. And you need this active, open listening approach if you really want to go this deep. All in all, through all the process, we talked to almost 60 people. And we found out many, many interesting things. Yes. What you can see here is something that we had done during the round one. So after talking to people, we needed to search for some patterns. After talking to people, after clustering the insights, the briefings, and so on, so on, so on, we formulated 3 main insights that are crucial here in Poland when it comes to designing this circular solution. Whatever we want to do and we will do, we need to have in mind those insights about people living in Poland. The first thing is that we really like to own things. Ownership is very important to us, and it does not mean if we are talking about big stuff like cars, TVs, and so on, but also when we are talking about those little things like glasses and chairs that we have at home, it's very important to be the owner. And not only feels strange, it also, people think that it brings more worries than pleasures. Because if we borrow something, then we are responsible for this thing in multiply, I would say, power, because we are responsible, we are facing not only ourselves, but we are facing also our friend, our colleague, the co-worker from the company that we are borrowing. If something broke, yeah, well, we need to explain ourselves why it is broken. So that's why this ownership is very important for us, but also this is also connected with our history. Because in Poland, you know, it was not so long time ago that we really have almost nothing. So every little thing counts. The second insight that we formulated is that as long as we here in Poland, Poles, as long as we have space, we store things, we store stuff, even though we do not use this stuff. It does not matter. So sometimes when we were talking to those people, sometimes we had a feeling that our Polish homes are like from the very flexible rubber. There is no like, there is no space. There is always a space. Of course it is. So we keep things. We are collectors, or we call it hamsters in Polish, chomiki. But yeah, well, we are collectors. Yeah, we want to own and we do keep stuff. We sometimes stuff that we do not use, sometimes stuff that is no longer functional, for many different reasons. It might be because of the financial reason, it might be because we still do some kind of a value in things, or sometimes we just have this emotional connection with the stuff. And one more thing, one more insight is that if we finally are ready to say goodbye to the home stuff, to the things that we own, we have our own system of getting rid of things. We have our own criteria to assess things that we want to get rid of. So let's say that the general pattern that we saw is that the first thing we do is to try to pass the things to our friends or to our family or to our neighbors. If we think that those things have no value for those people, then we are trying, for example, also to sell them online on special platforms. If not, then we are thinking about donating things. And there is one detail that is very important. We heard about it many, many times from many people. The need of others is very important. It is very, in many cases, this is the motivator, the need of others to go through all this stuff and assess the stuff and sort the stuff and giving away the stuff because someone needs it. Yeah, so let's go further. We also find out about some criteria, about some factors that we need to take care of, that we need to have in mind while designing solutions, circular solutions. So the first factor or the first element is convenience. Whatever we would like to design, it needs to meet some needs related to time, money, and effort that people need to put in, and we need to align with their values. We also need to take care of some external influencers that are outside of IKEA, and reinforce some positive motivators and minimize the motivators. We also need to design simple solutions, very transparent, because people need to trust us. And also people don't like to be judged by others, so this is also very important when it comes to trust. And of course accessibility, but not only accessibility of our own solutions, but also accessibility of solutions offered by others. Pros and cons of those solutions that are out there in the world already. So that was the end of round 2. It lasted like 5 days, and after the first round, we go into the round 2. And it was in the round 2. It was all about creating the value proposition. I'm not sure how familiar you are about this value proposition thing, but I guess I will just explain shortly what it is all about. It is about gathering those insights and trying to create some kind of an offer for people, an offer that brings them benefits and brings value to them, and to phrase it in a one sentence that explains everything. What I am here for and what I am bringing to you to make you feel better. So this is, I think this is shortly how I can explain in my own words what the value proposition is. So, guess what? We met more people, because if we are creating for the people and with the people, we need to meet with the many people and talk more to the people. So what you can see here on this slide is some kind of a tool that we use during the interviews with people. It helped us to remember the most important things that they said. And those pictures that you can see drawn by hand, those pictures of people, are extremely useful, because then you can, after some time, even now I can remember who is Barbara there, because I have her picture there. And then oh yeah, she said this and that. And yeah, it has been, I guess it has been more than a year when I was in this process, and I still, thanks to those pictures and thanks to those pages, I can remember those people that I talked to. So, very useful tool. But we were talking to them because we wanted to find out what are their tasks, what they need to do, what are their jobs, what are their pains connected to those jobs, to those tasks, and what are the gains, what are benefits, what value they can see already in the way they behave, in the services they are using. And here may be some explanation or some example. Maybe shopping in a grocery retailer chain. And this is like example from my life. And I'm ashamed of it. In my block of flat, there is a grocery store, retail chain store, very convenient, in the same block of flat. So I'm doing there my almost daily shopping, like, bread, cheese, all the stuff to eat on daily basis. I don't like in the store. Everything is packed in plastic single-use packaging. I hate it. It is completely not planet-friendly. But on the other hand, it is almost no time consumed for this shopping, because this is like in the place I live in. So I just need to go downstairs, have my bag, not single-use bag, have my bag and go to the shopping. And yeah, and you know, there is, my job is to take my bag, take my money, go downstairs to do the shopping. My game is that it is very quick and it is very convenient, but my pain is, what am I doing for the planet? You know, it is, I feel terrible. So I hope now do you understand what I meant about pains, gains, and jobs? And we can do the same when we are talking about the circular solution. When we are, for example, thinking about how we can help people to get rid of stuff in a planet-friendly manner. Because right now, you know, we just have our trash bag, garbage bag, go downstairs, put into the big bin. Okay, it is easy, convenient, but do you know exactly what is happening there with the garbage? There is something painful in it, yeah? So, yeah, let's go further. Round three. Round three of this creation or designing process is about creating business model. And now we are going into the hard stuff. Because this is like putting a layer of business reality on the value proposition that is focusing on people, their needs, their real challenges they have at home, their pains, and so on and so on. So the layer, this business layer, is about what is possible and what is not possible from the business perspective. It is about resources, meaning people, money. It is about capabilities and skills. So, guess what? We talked to even more people. Yes, and it was very specific talks. Because it was not interviews that were set up by the agency. It was spontaneous interactions, meaning that we went out on the street, went out to the shopping center, and just, you know, approach people and, hey, do you have time to talk to me for 10 minutes? And believe me, it was completely outside of my comfort zone and many of my colleagues. It felt extremely strange. But I can tell you that if you have done this with one person, or two persons, or three persons, you suddenly starting to feel very confident and comfortable. Just to, you know, approaching people, hey, how are you? Want to talk to me for 10 minutes? So yeah, at the end it was fun. It was special fun when we did it in IKEA stores, because, you know, the environment for us as IKEA coworkers is more friendly. We know it, so it was we felt more confident and it was easier to us to talk to people. Yeah. We talked to them to go into the details, to find some very specific information, how we can, or information that could help us to create this offer and make it possible and make it tangible, and give this offer some kind of a business sense. So after talking to people, We use something that you can see here. This is business model canvas. Maybe some of you are already familiar with this tool. As you can see, it has some elements like key partners, key activities, so what we need to do to introduce the offer, to introduce the solution. That there are resources and so on, so on. Different stuff, very helpful also. And I wanted to also give you some examples and to explain you some elements, some parts of this business model, how to put things in the form, or what should be put in the form. So I will share with you our value proposition, but I will do it later. And I will share with you customer segments, because in our solution that I want to tell you more about today, we defined customer segments. As you heard before, one of the insights that we formulated is that people in Poland do have their own system and their own criteria when they want to get rid of the stuff from their home. So we have people that sell things online, we have people who give things to the family and friends, and we have people who just throw away things. Even though it sometimes feels strange for them, or they do not feel comfortable with it, they still do it because this is the easiest and most convenient solution. But we have also people that have these things stored hidden, and they do not know what to do with those things. They do not know what to do about them. And this is our customer segment in our solution, to help those people, because the others, they already found some kind of solutions for themselves. So right now they don't need so much help as those that are just, I don't know what to do. So, this is me, and this is my reflection after the round 3. That just talking to people can help you so much in creating something valuable for them, and also something that can bring benefits to your business. And in this case, for the environment. So I wanted also to share some numbers, because I guess some of you can like numbers. So all in all, there were 25 IKEA co-workers engaged in this process. As I said before, we interviewed almost 60 people. We spent, focusing on the process, 25 days. But of course, it didn't end after these 25 days, because these 25 days is only the process of creating the frames for the solution, of the first, let's say this is the first phase of designing process. And as you can see, together with my colleague, we spent more than 400 hours working on this. Okay. But what's next? Because, as I said, this is not the end. This was just the beginning. Because after those 3 rounds that you should have, then the real job starts. So you need to plan, you need to prototype your offer, your solution, and you need to test it. Then you need to improve it, and then you need to prototype once again, and test, and prototype, and test, and plan, and improve. And it's like never-ending job, never-ending story, because you need to make it better and better and better and better. Because remember, you create the solution that you want people to love. So it needs to be, I don't like word perfect, but I will use it. Let's put it in the double brackets. It needs to be as perfect as possible, not for you, for your customers, or for the people you create for. Yeah, we create for customers, but I don't know, NGO can create for the local community to help them, yes? It is very, what I want to highlight is that this is the design thinking methods, because that's what we have been using during this process. The design thinking and the service design methods are very universal. It can be used by local governments, by NGOs, by companies, by whoever. If you want to create something valuable, those methods are very helpful. Okay, so how can IKEA help people in Poland to be more circular at home? Well, through something that we call better destinations, and for us, this is our internal perspective. It's about awakening hibernated stuff, these frozen, stored away things that people have at home, by giving it next life and finding it next new destination. Sorry. But when it comes, I promised you that I will share with you value proposition. So the value proposition you can see at the bottom of the slide, and it says that we help people to discover and restore value of and give next life to their stuff so they can feel confident and good about it. This is something that we want to offer to you. We will help you. So, what the solution is all about. You remember I told you that, I told you many times already, the Poles are storing away this frozen stuff that is not used, not being used, and this stuff just slips somewhere there in the attics, basement, wardrobes, and we also keep to forget about those things because they are hidden and they are not being used. So we are not aware that we have them. So what we decided is that the first step that we need to do is to awake people and to make them aware of this stuff. Because when we were talking during our interviews, when we were talking to people, and we were asking like, okay, so what do you have at your home that you do not use? Nothing, I use everything. Like, but please think, like, I don't know, maybe something in your kitchen? No, everything is being used, like, all the time, on a daily basis. And what with your basement? Basement, of course, I have my son's bicycle and those old toys, and you use it? No. Your kids are using it? No. So, yeah. We found out that there are some places at home that people do not consider as a part of a home. So this is like those attics, basements, wardrobes, pantries, and sheds. It is outer space. Yeah. So we need to awake people and remind them about the stuff that they have at home, but the stuff that is frozen. And we also need to help them to declutter the space, to sort the stuff, to assess the value of the products that they have, and finally to help to give this stuff next life. We want to be next life enablers. And these are like main crucial elements of the better destinations. But now I want to share with you something that, the starting point of the solution. So as you know, not so long time ago, we had a Black Friday and Black Weekend and Cyber Monday. We were thinking of what we can do on Black Friday for people that wouldn't be a promotion. And they we were thinking, maybe something about the stuff they have at home, because Black Friday is all about shopping new stuff, bringing new things in your homes, and keeping in mind that we are collectors here in Poland and we have all those things hidden away. Maybe there is something. So we decided to exploit this tension between the emotions that are with us during Black Friday. So this rush, this shopping fever, and this pressure of buying because someone will be quicker than me. I need to use this, use this offer. It is so great. And on the other hand, the emotions that are connected with the sustainability, with the circular economy. So the calmness, the prudence, the balance, and yes, let's use this occasion to talk about the subject that is so far away from the occasion. Let's poke people, let's poke them, this button on Facebook. I'm not sure if this is still on or not, but there was at least the poke button. So we wanted to poke people and say, hey, think about the stuff that you already have at home. Yeah. So we created this awakening campaign that is called Przyda się. Przyda się in Polish might be useful. And of course it's related to the stuff we are gathering because it might be useful for many different reasons, yes? And we created a special virtual collection. That collection, the price of the collection is 0 złotych. It is 0 złotych because you already had this collection at your home. And you can see there forgotten long time ago children accessories and long unopened wardrobe and never used kitchen accessories and long salad table set from the basement. The stuff that we already have at home. So on Black Friday we wanted to say, hey, there is nothing wrong in using promotions and occasion, of course, but think about the stuff you already have at home. Maybe you don't need to buy, because buying, shopping, purchasing should be more conscious and more sustainable than only driven by emotions. But this is only the part that needed to poke people to catch their attention. Because what we really wanted to say is to say that you can live in a more circular way at your home. Because you can take care of the products that you already have. And if you care about your products, they can live longer. The value of the product is kept for a longer time. Then, if something is broken, you can repair it. You don't need to buy new things. You can repair them. And you can also give next life to the things you already have, to DIY and upcycling, for example. And finally, that's the point 4, and finally, you can give next life to the stuff you don't need and you want to get rid of by giving it away to people that really needs the stuff. So, this charitable part. And that was the heart, let's say, of this Przyda się collection and this campaign on Black Friday. And this is our first step in creating better destinations, because we want to develop the website as a tool, and we want to develop the campaign, and we really want to engage people in those more circular behaviors at home. Yes, and of course we wouldn't be us if on this website we wouldn't share what we are doing for the circularity and for the circular economy and sustainability. So those parts are also there. Okay, but most things remains to be done, and you will see in a moment why. Thank you.